but I had to take a little beat and shit, a little 2-on-1 for a minute. I ended up getting a cracked rib, a concussion, a knot on my head. So, you know, comes with it. It wasn't.
You know, it's a crazy life to live, right? These are your homeboys, people you're eating with, people you're willing to die for, people you're willing to catch a new case for. And you say, yo, bro, I'm trying to get close to home, be with my family. And, you know, I'm going to go to this program. They're like, oh, you disrespected the gang. You end up with a broken rib and a concussion over wanting to leave this, you know, do the right thing for your family.
You just said it right, bro. And, it was definitely crazy because I'm gonna put it like this. So it's like very militant there anyways, right? A lot of structure. So that part was kind of cool. You know? It was interesting.
So what's up, Packy? How are you, man? Glad to have you on the show today. I know you've been through a lot of stuff, man. Got involved in some gang stuff in prison. Had a few fights, won some, might have lost some. But tell us about you, man, where you're from and what your life was like growing up.
All right, yeah, my name is Patrick. Everybody calls me Packy. I grew up in Northeast Ohio. It's Warren City. It's like a suburb of Youngstown. Yep, and then pretty much I just had a normal life my whole life. But my little brother died when I was like 15. I quit caring about shit, so I quit going to school. Lost my virginity like the year before, started smoking weed, went to JJC for the first time when I was 15. So I kind of just took that path of what I wanted to have fun and do what I want. Quit football, did all, you know what I mean? Just wanted to be like everybody else, I guess.
You waited till you were 15 to lose the V?
No, I was 14.
14, okay, playboy. Anyway, 14, as long as you weren't hanging out at any P. Diddy parties at 14,
yeah, right. Nah, hell no.
I'm just playing with you. You got to laugh sometimes.
I feel you, bro. Yeah.
So, you know, you talked about your brother, man. I mean, how the hell did your brother die?
Okay, so he was 6, and when he was 1, he got sick, and then I was 15 when he died. That's why I use that year, because that's just the year I just pretty much quit giving a fuck about everything. I just went off the rails. But yeah, it just made me feel like there wasn't a God and all that. I remember feeling that way because of how young and innocent he was, but he got sick and he died. That shit was rough, yeah. But I got another brother too, my little brother Vinny. Shout out to him. He's 6 years younger than me.
You said your little brother died. He got sick. What happened? Cancer?
Leukemia. Yeah, leukemia.
Damn, bro. I mean, man, how'd your parents take that?
Actually, yeah, it was rough. And me and him got the same dad, different mom. And me and my other brother got the same mom, different dad. But as soon as that happened, my dad and her split up. So it ruined. They had like 12 years or give or take or something. But as soon as that happened, they was done. Yeah. It fucked everything up. But I just use that as an example of when I was younger. You know what I mean? When I started just wanting to just do whatever the fuck I wanted, quit listening to my parents, didn't want to go to school. Like you said, I wanted to be like everybody in my neighborhood and running with the guys and doing all that. So that started like early on, even though it was probably kind of what I felt like maybe watered down a little bit because of our area. We got 40,000 people. Warren City and Youngstown got about 60. And we go hard for a little area, but like it's not a huge city. So I use that as an analogy as an example for what I meant with the gang shit. Like it goes on around here, but it's probably just a little different than in inner city, big city. You know.
So you're in the streets now, man. You feel like, man, I want to be involved in the gang. Like, how's that work out?
I mean, yeah, over the years, it got me into a lot of shit, just doing dumb shit and whatever. But once I went to the joint in the penitentiary, that's when it became more real, and I mashed the gas because I had a choice to continue doing it or not. I felt like, fuck it, I might as well do what I'm supposed to do, become familiar with everything I'm supposed to, put the little bit of work I knew I was going to have to in, go with the flow from there. And that's exactly what I did. I ended up getting leveled up and, all the shit that comes with that.
I want to talk about what it's like for a white kid, right? Kind of growing up in the suburbs, you said a little bit, right?
Right.
Getting involved in a predominantly black gang.
For sure.
What draws a young white kid to that gang? I'm curious. And so are the viewers.
So my generation, of our, I guess, age group, I don't know if this is like this in every state because I see different videos that seem otherwise, but it's a mixture and combination. Like people wouldn't realize that, but like with us, with, folks, GDs, we got white, black, Hispanic all together. Even I really can't, I don't want to go too far into all that, Chad, to be honest. I'll talk about it, but I don't want to disrespect and say certain things I know I shouldn't talk about. But we can talk about it. I just meant with certain things, I'm gonna leave details out. If that makes sense. Okay.
Fine, I don't want nothing to happen to you, and I don't want you to get jammed up. I'm not that type of dude. I'm not looking for the great story, and you end up
I feel
jammed up
you.
two
I
weeks
just want,
later.
yeah, I'll still talk about it though, just to, as long as I ain't exposing certain shit or whatever is what I meant by that.
So, I mean, what draws you in though? Is it because, look,
Yeah,
man, I mean, the family life, hold on, the family life at home, or is it, hey, look, man, I feel like these guys are dudes I want to hang out with. These guys are my
yeah,
brothers. What draws you in?
very much that. And just for real, I think when I was younger, it seemed like all the girls like shit like that. Before I met my woman, I've been with 18 years now. We got 3 kids, but I guess it was just like the bad boy thing and all that. I wanted to get tattoos and do all that and just pretty much feel like I was one of the guys. And on the east side of our city, that's how it is. So like, I don't know, it just pretty much drew me in, but it seemed fun and the camaraderie, yeah, the brotherhood, all that. I learned later on though, it's a lot of give and take. It's not just all give, there's a lot of goods and bads, ups and downs with it.
That's with anything. There's good and bad, right?
Right. But like you said with the example earlier, it's like over the years, it definitely was a lot of pressure on me being, white and shit, especially when you're in the joint, especially if you get to a new joint and shit like that, because they really don't care what's went on already. They kind of want to see it with their own eyes. You know what I
So
mean?
you can be in one spot and prove, hey man, I'm not some punk ass white boy, man. I get busy. Now you go to the next spot. Some dude might remember you from the other spot. Oh yeah, I know, dude. But really, you got to go ahead and put in that work again. You feel like
Even
you
if
got to
something
work a little bit
about you.
harder.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, and then you be like I said, it's like you got to go a little bit extra hard because sometimes, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. And we both know it. Some white dudes give us a bad name, but we're not all the same. And a lot of like different races, not even just black people, but just different situations in the joint. A lot of white dudes look like that. And then it's horrible, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro. So they think that not all, dudes are going to fight and shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, hey, it goes with the territory. But from my experience, I'm gonna keep it real with you. A lot of white dudes that I've met that are in black gangs, they usually can fight because they've
Yeah,
been through it.
you have to. I mean, you're going to get into some fights. It's going to happen. You can't be scared to take a punch and know how to give one. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. It's just,
Let me ask you this: what were your parents like? Did you live with both your mom and your father growing up?
no, so I lived with my mom. And when I was 3, my dad left, but he stayed in contact with me about once a month from 3 on up. My mom met my stepdad and he raised me. He died about a year before I got home. So like I did, 6 years, 9 months when I was about to come home, probably about a year prior, he passed away. So like, but that was my father figure. And then when I was about probably 16, a year after my brother died, my pops, my stepdad, he took me to my real dad to like live there. I packed some bags and went and hung out with him. We all sat there. It wasn't really awkward because we've all been around each other, but I'm sitting there like I got both my dads right here. You know what I mean? And then I lived with him and my mom was pissed because I got into a whole bunch more shit from there because my dad was more like my best friend. We got real cool and just started kicking it and partying and doing. His house was like a bachelor pad for me. So my mom was always trying to get me to come back, but I wasn't trying to.
End up with your real father, and it was kind of like, man, the life that you want to live. He was kind of like your friend, not really your dad, kind of.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a good dude. I'm not I got nothing bad to say about him, but you're right. It was like, yeah, we was just partying a lot and he would let me have 8, 9, 10 friends at a time. I'd be sleeping in my bed up in the room. They just come up there, shake the bed like, hey, get up, hit this weed, bro. Whatever. So that's how it was. And he'd be like, y'all can go up there and wake him up. It'd be like 10 in the morning, on the weekend or something. So that's just how it was. A
So
lot
it's
of
kind of like a life without no discipline, no structure, kind of free for all as a youngster.
yeah, pretty much. But I mean, I liked it a lot. But I got 3 kids myself. And yeah, I think about it in certain aspects that I don't like. We let them have their friends come over. They do it right now. They'll have 2 at a time. So we got 3 kids and they got 2 friends each. We got like 9 kids running around the house. That's regular for us. So, but I'm not ever going to let it be like that is what I'm saying. Like, I'm very much about my family now. I'm close to being off papers. I just got lowered to a low risk for going 9 months and doing the right thing. I'm in a program, anger management program. I got a piss in the cup, do all that. They got me on a medication and MAT program. Some people probably know what that is. But yeah, so just saying, I want my kids' life to be a little different.
Hey, 100%. I mean, look, I got two sons, bro. They're twin boys, and I want them to have structure, and I want to be their dad, and I want to be a good father. You know what I mean? Because kids become what? A product of their parents. I feel that way in most cases.
Right, man. You are right. My kid, two of my three kids hold resentments. They'll remind me that I wasn't here. My youngest, my 9-year-old, she don't do that. But my 11 and 13-year-old, they get mad. They tell me, like, they say some hurtful shit, bro. It's crazy. And they was toddlers when I left.
You're here now, though, right? So what do you end up going to prison for? You go to Ohio State Prison. What do you go to prison for?
Okay, so 2016, me and my girl was together for 10 years at that time. We got together in 06. And we was just going through some things on the rocks. And one night, we was pretty much living in the same house, raising our kids, but doing our own thing and staying out of each other's business. It was kind of fucked up. One night we went our separate ways. I went to a bike fest. I was with these people. I felt like I was drugged, but I don't know for sure because this chick gave me like a little bottle of Crown, a mini one, and said, "Look for the cops and drink this." Because you're supposed to buy drinks up there. I did that, and I wake up behind the bar. Like, it's dark out. And I'm like, what the fuck? This cop's got his light in my face. All these bystanders are looking at me and shit. So I'm like, did I get that fucked up? Long story short, he's like, what do you got on you? I said, I got like 52 Suboxones and $220. And he's like, no, you got one Suboxone and a $20 bill. And right there, I knew something wasn't right. So it was like these people robbed me and left me with something to wake up to, pretty much. And then I was just pissed. I went home. I went to sleep. She's saying crazy shit to me. I go to bed. She goes through my phone and seen something she didn't like from that night. And the cops come there because we were screaming at each other, but then I go back to bed. The neighbor calls the cops. They come there like, hey, we need to talk to him. She says who it is. They're like, oh, he got a bench warrant. And she goes, there ain't no way because the cops just dropped him off. And they was like, they just didn't want to deal with it. They come in, try to snatch me off the bed, and I come up with an elbow immediately. At that point, we're fighting in the room, bro. So I legit caught assaulting police officer on 2 cops. I had 8 stitches right here. They made me feel like I was fighting for my life, though. For real, I swear I was, bro. I was waking up out of a dead sleep like that.
So you end up going to prison for fighting with the police.
For that, yeah, that case, and then I ended up getting bonded out. When I got her and my mom paid 1,000, 10%, 10,000 got me out. I did 16 days, got out, started pleading not guilty about reasonable insanity to fight my case because my psychiatrist was like, yeah, I've been dealing with him, interacting with him for years. Belmont Pines, little juvenile thing we got here for like mental health stuff. So they said, all right, that's cool. And we heard on the body cam that your girl said, let me wake him up because he got issues and he's sleeping and he's drunk. And I have like nightmares and shit. And she knew that, but they didn't give a fuck. They just came back there and snatched me. So that all kind of played into it, I think, why I got 18 months for that case. While I was out on bond, though, I did some dumb shit because I was partying. I knew I was going to prison. And I went and did a little robbery at the Sunoco, some dumbass shit at Sunoco. Me and somebody else. And we got, yeah. So that's the other case.
Talk about nightmares. What were you having nightmares for?
Pretty much, man, it's hard to explain. So sometimes, this is going to sound crazy. Maybe people will understand. I feel like sometimes I'll come out of my body when I'm sleeping. And other times I'll have sleep paralysis. They're completely different. But either way, it's scary as fuck. And I don't like it. I get sweating. I make sounds in my sleep. My girl will wake me up. I've actually jumped out of bed gasping for air. It's crazy. I had 2 videos go viral actually on Facebook because me and my girl got like 11,000 followers there, almost 4 on YouTube and like 1,000 on TikTok. So they went somewhat viral and they were security camera footage from my bedroom because we got 8 cameras around the house. And like, yeah, I'm just using that as an example. It was fucked up to see myself doing that. It was scary. And hearing me gasp for air, bro, I wasn't breathing while I was sleeping. And it was just weird. But I have been doing that since I was younger, like a teenager. And I'm paranoid too. So prison didn't help that, bro. I take psych meds and shit.
You take psych meds now?
Yeah. I don't like it. It's just like, it makes me feel weird. Like something's wrong with me. My girl's always telling me, nah, it's normal. You just gone a while and you got all these things going on with you and shit that I got going on in my mind. Things I'll talk to her about and shit, but I don't really like to vent too much. And but you know, just things from over the years. So it's just always there, I guess. I don't know.
So you end up going to prison. You got this bid. You walk into prison. What's that Ohio State prison like?
So it depends. Like we got level 1s, 2s, 3s, 4-5, which is pretty much a 4. 1s is, you know, camps. 2s are dorms, an open dorm setting. It's like depends on where you're at, how it's gonna be. 3 is close security. You got a cell, and they all go a lot harder than the 2s. And then 4, you're just pretty much in a room all day. You got hella electronics though, but we did in 3s, tablets, you know, TVs, fans. But they could bring the shower to you, and they used to bring the phone to them before the tablets came out on a track. Like the shower would come to you on a track, so you might leave that cell and go into a cage, and you won't even leave to get in the shower sometimes. So that's just how the setup is for our prison. As far as how they are though, like they're all just different. It depends. Some of them go harder than others, but some of them ain't shit. But like Lake Erie, level 2, I was there. That place ain't no joke. I know you know a little bit about CCA in Youngstown, NEOCC, because well, you know about it because you was there or whatever. But that's owned by them, and it's privately owned. They really don't give a fuck. It's right on Lake Erie, and we was on the news for disciplinary time. They legit put us on the news with the SRT squads. They're marching us around. It wasn't allowed to talk. Had to walk to the child. Everything was controlled movement, and it ain't that kind of prison. But they came there to do that because everything was out of hand, bro. There was no structure. The COs were scared to come in there. They wouldn't come in the dorm. They just slammed the crash gate and just let everything take place for 20, 30 minutes until the SRTs finally came in with gear on and shit. You know, it was that type of spot. That one was. And then eventually when I got leveled up, Lebanon went pretty hard too. And that's something I was telling you. If you wanted me to share about that one story I told you when we were on the 7-day lockdown, that was probably one of the more crazy things that happened when I was there, besides one person dying, getting killed. But it was when this dude on Christmas Day, he flipped on a CO. He was just minding his business. This chick, Maxie buddy, hey, this is my dog Max, my bad. When he was trying to do something, right? And she come to the door and she was locking him down for wreck. And he pretty much wanted to be left alone Christmas Day. She said, "Merry Christmas, I'm shaking you down." And he come out and just beat the fuck out of both of them. And like they released the body cam footage. So I found it and posted it on my page. That's what I sent you earlier. That shit was crazy, man.
Let me ask you this though: when you first walk into the prison system, what's it like? Do the white dudes press you? I mean, I've been around a bunch of Ohio dudes, right? A bunch of honkies from Ohio when they had the Ohio ABs over there. And when you walk in, I mean, do the white dudes press you or how?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, yeah, they want to know who you're rocking with, and if you're not, you might get robbed for real. And you're gonna fight your first day at Lake Erie, regardless. It doesn't really matter unless you know people and you're like, you know, you're that dude type shit, and you get there. Maybe not, but probably 80% of the chance you're gonna get off the bus and get into at least one fight, and it's what they call it ride and row. So you get there. You go to Huron CD, you're on Riding Row, and it's just First Street. Anybody who been in the dorm knows what I'm talking about. You got first, second, third, all the way up to fifth, because I've seen 5. But in this spot, it was 3. And First Street was Riding Row. Second and third was just general, you know, regular population. And they would like legit be like, "It's Wednesday, y'all." And then just all get together. Like different gangs, different cliques would get together like, "Hey, if we do this with so and so and so and so and so and so, we'll split it." So it was crazy, bro. It was like a free for all. You might have a white organization, mixed organizations, everybody getting together who all different gangs and shit and robbing people and splitting profit, bro. That shit was wild.
Somebody comes in, man. You got white dudes with black dudes plotting on robbing somebody.
Yeah, legit. My first day, I noticed that. Like I see like 4 or 5 black dudes sitting around playing cards, and there'd be 2 white dudes sitting there with them, and they're just playing cards. You know what I mean? But and them type of dudes, you know, like you said earlier, they usually go pretty hard. Maxie buddy, daddy's busy. I'm gonna let you in. Yeah, but you're right though. But it was more or less like think of it like, I guess they try to go a little extra hard because they know they're being looked at. Like people are thinking like, who the fuck is this white boy? And you gotta like just show your shit, you know what I mean? But we got the felons and shit. Yeah, I ain't gonna speak too much on that either, but a lot of people might not even know what that is from Cleveland.
Heartless felons, vicious group of dudes.
Bro. Yeah, that's who you're. Yeah, you're gonna be getting. Yeah, they're gonna take a look at something. You know what I mean? But that's just how it is. You know. But they respect it when you fight. It's just like any situation. If you might even get your shit took, fight a couple times, and the head gonna pull up and give you your shit back. They respect that. Like sometimes, not every time, but that's happened. You know what I mean?
The white dudes, they press you. You tell them, hey man, I'm pretty much in a black gang. I mean,
Well, there's different. It's crazy because the white gangs used to be like there's a few like C-Dubs used to be Cincinnati White Boys, now it's Cincinnati Wild Boys, KF, convicted felons from Columbus. They both used to just be white gangs, but now they changed it to Cincinnati Wild Boys, and the KFs just started letting different races in. But yeah, I mean, it really don't matter. I don't think they give a fuck about the race thing, the size thing, none of that. I was just talking to somebody at work the other day who I ran into, who I was locked up with, and he was telling somebody else how crazy it is. You could be in a gang, you could work out every day, you could look like a hard motherfucker, like you're gonna stand up for yourself, and it doesn't matter because they're still gonna come 3 deep and try you. And one person's gonna be trying to take your TV and some shit while the other two is just giving it all they got, trying to fight you, bro. Like that shit don't mean nothing. So it ain't just white dudes having that happen. I've seen big black dudes go through the exact same shit. It just did not matter. I don't
well,
know.
what I'm getting at is that the white dudes shun you when you tell them you're in a black gang, or do they?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes that there's some dudes that don't respect it. You know what I mean? I've actually that's one thing that's always kind of got on my nerves and I've had to deal with it. Is like it's complete. I'll put it like this. So my city is like for real is predominantly black, probably 60-40. And like so I grew up around that in school, but the people I've known, the black dudes I've known in my city, I've known for years because we went to Roosevelt, Turner, all elementary schools and shit, Harding, life skills. So we all knew each other growing up. But that's different. When you get to the penitentiary and you might be a part of the same gang, it's not the same as people you've known since 1997, 2000, when you was kids, not even thinking about growing up and doing that shit. These dudes don't know you, so they're just like, you're just another white dude to them. You know what I mean? But even though you're supposed to be brothers and we're supposed to stand for the same thing, that's that's pretty much where I was going with that. Is that it's not always the same. They expect you to like show them, and then they still might not respect it. It just depends.
Yeah, I said this 1,000 times. I've seen it, right? I've seen some white dudes that really get busy that are in black gangs. My brother's a blood, right? And he's well respected everywhere he goes. But there's always somebody, man.
Yeah, always.
There's always that one dude that, man, he don't give a fuck about you. He don't care. Hey, we call it what it is. It's real and it's raw, right? You're that white boy, man. You're like, man, who is this dude, man? And sometimes, and I've seen the dudes that press that envelope, sometimes they end up getting their ass whooped by that same, white dude that's in a black gang that was like, yo, what's up? It is what it is. What's up? You keep, going at me. You keep pushing the envelope. What's up? And I've seen some of them fold where they don't really want to get it. Yeah. They talk that shit, and then you're like, "Oh, what's up?"
I've seen it.
Like, nah, I'm good. Like, what are you talking about? We're brothers.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too. Like you just said, go both ways. But it's I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's a crazy feeling when you got a couple black. It's not really a crazy feeling, but it's a strange feeling when you got some people acting like that and others who don't think like that and are ready to go for you. I had that happen. I've been in actual fights and altercations at the same time around black dudes and had them stand up for me. Like one time I had 2 dudes pull up on me in the chow hall talking shit about some dumb shit. And they stood up immediately and just was like, what's going on, bro? You good? And they looked up because they thought I was sitting there by myself. Because you know how the tables are. I was by myself. Dude I was sitting with just got up and went to throw his tray away. But we had like 3-4 tables back here. And I think they just think that everybody's by themselves. But we were all together in these couple tables. And these 2 dudes just rode in. And the one dude, it was some dumb shit. The one dude was my bunkie who had just left. And I owed him like $6. And I was in another block. So this is how it all started. And me and him couldn't see each other. But when he said that to his bunkie and his 2 dudes seen me on the yard and they just got there and wanted to make a little name for themselves because he was telling them that, they just came straight up to me running their mouth. And I didn't like how, I just stood up all quick, like trying to get them on the same page as what was going on. But then they did the exact same thing. And then they switched it up real quick. So that's a good feeling. That's like that brotherhood thing. It makes you feel different, or like there is hope that you can make shit like that work with being white in a biracial organization. But then there's other times the next week it might be completely different, bro. It's all over the place. Like all over the place.
So, you talk about fighting a lot in there. I mean, you ever have to get involved in anything violent in there?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I had one I was gonna tell that was a shitty one, like for real. When I got into an argument with dude that lived next to me. This was still in the county though. This wasn't even in prison. And I called my girl and told her I was about to be in the hole. And I just walked over and sucker punched dude. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I didn't just call him in the room. I wasn't really in bid mood yet. But I did that. And he kind of stumbled back. And instead of me like getting on him and trying to keep, you know what I mean? I just popped him right in his shit. And he just stumbled back and looked at me all shocked. But when he tried to tackle me, he like slammed me and just stood over me and was punching me. And I couldn't get out of it, bro. He had his legs wrapped around me. I was partying a lot back then. I only weighed like 165 pounds. I still ain't like big, but I was way littler back then is what I'm saying. Well, one of his dudes even tried to run up and kick me, but the COs had already been trying to break it up. So he aimed his like little taser thing at him, and dude just backed up and walked away. Both went to the hole for 20 days, but that was stupid. I shouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? I felt like I did some sucker shit, and then it happened like that. Another
Yes,
one.
it is. What's it like to have a dude on you? He's straddling you, he's on top of you, and he's just pounding, and you can't get away. What are you thinking in your head?
Rush, bro. You know how like it's almost like time slows down, and your whole time you're thinking, how do I get out of this? Because everybody's watching. This is going on in the whole block. They all just see me pop him, but now they all see what he's, you know what I mean, how he's getting over on me, and this is only gonna last for probably maybe 30 seconds to a minute at this spot that I'm at, but it feels longer than that for sure. And yeah, it's just your adrenaline's going, bro. You're crashing, you just crashed out, you're going to the hole, all that, but you only have moments to try to redeem yourself, bro, is the best way to put it. You know what I mean? When that situation's happening.
So in your mind, you're thinking, damn, man, I'm embarrassed right now. I got to get. You're not thinking about, damn, this dude could possibly kill me.
Nah, not really. That wasn't crossing my mind at that exact situation. I mean, there's things that's went on, and that are eventually you could think that in different spots, but in the county at that time, no. I mean, I was on the fourth floor on the felony floor, but it wasn't like no weapons or nothing in there. But you can die from a fucking fist fight. Everybody knows that. Plenty of people done fell in the cell, hit their head on the toilet, shit like that. It happens. Getting slammed on that hard ass concrete, head first.
I've had some fights on that hard ass concrete and hit the ground a few times in my life.
Yeah, bro. I think that would be one of the worst situations. And then another fight I was gonna tell you about was when I was at Lebanon, and on the yard. Anybody who's been there knows that on the yard there's a recreation bathroom. And me and dude got into like a disagreement, and pretty much we decided to go in there and fight. So he went in first. Now I popped top, so he couldn't like grab me. It's just like a habit, and plus I don't like him being able to grab you. You know what I mean? So I took my shirt off, come around the corner. He already walked in there first. We get to squaring up and fighting. We're hitting each other, rolling around, slamming each other. He was tough and shit. I give him that. But like what ended up happening was someone yelled, "Hey, come in here and you better get in here and get your boy," to my dude, or to his dude. So I hear footsteps, and then I feel like a shockwave, bro. He ran in there and kicked me, and I fell forward. And when I fell forward, me and him was like rolling around and shit. So I'm trying to, now me and him are kind of rolling around, and it's all like in between the sink and the toilet, but someone yelled 12. So when that happens, by this time, people are piling in the bathroom because they're being fucking nosy and they want to come. You know how it is. They get you caught pretty much. So because people were running to see a fight, the COs got to do their job now. Some of them feel like that. They're like, you go see what's going on. So they blew the spot up. But when they come in there and everybody's leaving, I put my shirt back on and I walk out with them. Now, when I walk out with them, I felt like I got away, but I already cuffed one of them, maybe both at that time. But when I got outside, they formed like a wall, and they're checking people on their hands and their faces, and they're, "Hey, you," and they're stopping people like that. But I didn't realize I put my shirt on backward, bro. So I'm out of breath, and my tag was right here. And he immediately put me up against the wall right there. And everybody started laughing and shit. But they was like, "Hey, free pack, bro, free pack." You like just fucking around, clown. You know how they say that dumbass shit, like, when you go into the hole, they just say, start clowning and shit. But it just all happens so fast. You know what I mean?
Looks like you're a big dude, man. How tall are you?
I'm not really that big, bro. I'm 5'8", like 185, something like that. Probably just a camera. I mean, I've been trying to work out, but I ain't back like I was in prison. But I've been starting to do some push-ups and curls in the basement. I might do 200 burpees tomorrow, 200 push-ups, something like that. I'm just starting again, bro, because I've been getting a workout at my job, bro. We've been slinging some metal up in that bitch. They got some heavy parts lately. We gotta hang it. Gotta grab it out the box, hang it on the fucking hook. They're like meat hooks. You know what I mean? I do that all day for 10 hours.
We'll talk about that in a minute. What you're doing with your life? Wildest thing you've seen in prison, man, that affected you, man, mentally, emotionally, something that might have affected you.
Okay. Okay, so this affected me because it took place about, I don't want to exaggerate this. I want to be right. About 40 yards from where I was in Seg at Lebanon. Dude killed a dude. Now, I wasn't in the same block. Like I said, there was like a wall between us because I'm in Seg doing like 30, 40 days and you get out early. So I think, if you do 30, you'll do like 27. While I'm doing that, he's over here on some bullshit and they at him. Anybody who been to Leb knows it's like below. Well, he like stabbed up his bunkie, bro, a lifer, and he was trying to get to another spot. And once you get to that disciplinary, they make you wait like 1 to 2 years at the least. Well, he'd already been locked up for like 20 something years. He did time over in PA and then here too. But like, yeah, pretty much, bro. The quick version of it is he killed dude. And the fact that he came straight into our fucking block. Oh, and one cell next to me. That's where I was going with this. It was weird because of how crazy this dude was, bro. Like he was saying shit out the door to everybody as if he just got into a little fist fight. And the CO ended up coming to his door and telling him, like, hey, bro, you fucking asshole piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like on his ass, because they were pissed at him for knowing pretty much what he did that for. And then on top of that, dude was, pretty cool. But this dude's looked at like a fucking psychopath. Like a lot of people looked at him like he was weird and strange and shit. And he like legit killed dude. But they came and told him, and we heard it. Me and my bunkie. Yeah, Marky from fucking Cincinnati. We literally heard him being told, like, bro, is in, he was in the hospital, and then they came back and said, that he ain't making this shit. It was just crazy. That kind of affected me because I'm laying there thinking, like, that's crazy that took place on the other side of this wall because we're in cell too. I think that I've said there's about 40 cells on that range. So we're like in the second cell where the fucking CO's desk is, just so happened to be. And it's like when the showers are right there too and shit. And yeah, on the other side of the wall, they had that going on. And, we heard the man 3 or the signal 3 man down so much at lead, bro, that you don't ever know if it's serious or not. They'll do that for a one-on-one fist fight that'll last 30, 40 seconds in the block. They'll hit a man down and everybody's coming from every cell block. It's a long fucking corridor it's all indoors and it's all doing all the cell blocks with 3 ranges or 3 tiers ranges. So as you're coming down the corridor, there's every cell block and you just come out of one, go down, you're in another type shit. So like, with, like I said, stack 3. When something happens, they stop what they're doing and they run. 2 from here, 2 from here, 1 from here, and they're all heading to that. The sergeant might come, the white shirts, and they got batons. I never seen that anywhere but there. They got these fucking batons, bro, because it's disciplinary, and I guess they're allowed, but I don't know.
You have any remorse for that dude, the dude that got killed? Did you ever feel like, damn, man,
Yeah,
dude lost his life?
yeah, because he was not doing life. I want to say he had like 3 years left, and it was over some dumb ass shit, bro. Oh, it was over him telling the COs, get dude out of here. Like, I'm not living with him no more, bro. He's a fucking weirdo. And the sad part that got to me is he locked down with him, bro, knowing what he was going to do. Like, he locked down with him with a hawk, you know what I'm saying, type shit. And he confronted him. Like, yeah, I know what you're trying to do and this and that. They get to arguing. And then they get to fighting. And I think the porter came to the door or something. That part I might be wrong about, so I don't, the details. Somehow somebody came to the door. And they watched this dude, like, stabbing this dude, looking up at him and shit. And like, yeah, I told you motherfuckers, get me out of here. Shit like that. And the COs all rushed in there, whatever. That's how the story was told to me anyway. But yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, like, that's crazy, bro. Dude locked down at 9 p.m. lockdown. Probably going to think he's going to go in there and get on his tablet and shit. And this fucking dude never going home, psychopath. He had rapes on his murder. He had a rape on, or I mean, murder. He had rape and murder on his record. One of them was from being in the joint. Like, he caught a case. Supposedly, I heard a rumor that he caught a case on like a caseworker back in like the 90s, bro. Like maybe 2000. He was alone. He was like a porter or something to that effect with someone, and she claimed him and another inmate raped her, and that he got charges added with a life sentence. I don't even know why they do that, but yeah, that's what I heard anyway.
You end up in a cell with a dude that you never know, man. Absolute nutcase could take your life.
I was literally thinking that, laying there. I think me or Marky, one of us said that. Like, bro, imagine being in there with this dude. Like, just thinking. And he was actually saying silly shit out the window or out the door like that, sounding like a sociopath. Like, he liked that shit. And yeah, I heard he hit another dude with a fan motor, but that happened all the time down there. He just liked violence, bro. He was a killer and shit, I guess, you know?
So back to you being in that, in that gang you're in or whatever, right? Was there ever a point in your life where you're like, man, I just hated being in this gang?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. So over the years, there has been times that I've looked at it like that. I've actually took violations for feeling a certain type of way. And, at one point when I wanted to get in the Flying High program, which is from Youngstown, and they got it in Trumbull Walls right here, you got to go 6 months ticket free. And my girl kept telling me, you can't do that because you are running around with these supposed to be your brothers, getting in a whole bunch of trouble and whatnot for no reason. And you ain't never going to make it because you're in the hole every month. You guys are always getting in trouble, this and that. So I pulled up on them and tried to, I told them, like, hey, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you guys, but I also feel like, I've been doing this for a long time now. I got 3 kids. I keep getting myself in trouble. So I didn't want them to feel like I was dogging them or turning on them, but we're allowed to get permission to be like on or off count for certain reasons. So they let me. They decided some was cool with it, some wasn't. But a couple people said violation immediately just for saying it. But then they ended up just letting me fall back. So it's like, since I've been home, I haven't really been like into all that. But in the joint, I was. And that was about maybe 8 months to the door. I ended up making it to probably a little longer than that. But I ended up succeeding. I went to that program block. I made it happen. Got put in the Flying High program. Came to a prison 7 minutes from my house right here because I set my mind on that goal and made it happen. But I had to take a little beating and shit, a little 2-on-1 for a minute. I ended up getting a cracked rib, a concussion, a knot on my head. So, comes with it. It wasn't.
So it's a crazy life to live, right? These are your homeboys, people you're eating with, people you're willing to die for, people you're willing to catch a new case for. And you say, yo, bro, I'm trying to get close to home, be with my family. And, I want to go to this program. They're like, oh, you disrespected the gang. You end up with a broken rib and a concussion over wanting to leave this, do the right thing for your family.
You just said it right, bro. And it was definitely crazy because I'm going to put it like this. So it's like very militant there anyways, right? A lot of structure. So that part was kind of cool. It was interesting to be familiar with everything and do this and do that. Move as one, go to chow together. We'd all wait for each other. It'd be 15, 20 of us. And we would, but what I'm getting at is that. So all I was saying is, yeah, bro, getting like beat on and shit by your own people that's supposed to be not for that. It just feels weird. You're like, they build you up, tears you down, build you up, tears you down. It's almost like it brainwashed me, bro. Because at points I feel like, I'm ready to be done with this. And then I find myself missing it, bro. Like that shit fucked my mind up where I'd sit there and be like, damn, my life's not boring as fuck now. Like it's weird. It made me kind of have a confliction in my mind about it. Like there was days I would make that decision and be like, damn, I chose to do this and be looked down on every day. Even though I did feel, some love from some of the guys, but then also situations in different joints, sometimes it wasn't like that, bro. Like it's a weird feeling. But yeah, brainwash and build you up and tear you down is the 2 ways that I would put it, bro. How militant it is and how they'll violate you and beat your ass and then love on you a minute later. You're locking up, doing, knocking and doing all your little things that the guys do, and all that. While that's going on, you're just like, yeah, just feeling like pretty much like you was just beating on me, and now it's like you're acting like everything's cool. It's crazy, bro. But you know what you're getting yourself into when you choose that lifestyle. Not out here, it wasn't like that. Out here, like I said, everything was kind of watered down. You just feel like you want to be a part of something, do it. It still goes kind of hard. There's still things that goes on, but not like in there, bro. Like once I was in them walls, and they're telling me this is how it's gonna be. This is what our organizational structure. This is what we do. All that. Once that goes on, you're like, okay, now I'm in the situation. Like I got myself in the situation, so I gotta go hard, or you just that's it. Because if not, you're gonna have a rough time the whole time.
You might have said something about you hated at one time. You felt like you hated being in a black gang.
It's cutting out, bro. I heard the first part and then it cut out. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So at one point, I think you told me that
Yeah.
you hated being in a black gang.
It felt pretty much like, yeah, bro. At some point, I started feeling like I was looked down on, wasn't getting the same respect. I ain't gonna lie, like it got rough. It started getting to the point where, like, I felt like there was never enough. Like, I even tried to vouch one time. Like, everybody got together and talked about some things that was going on. I'm not gonna put the details out there. So, even said, "Fuck it, I'll do it." You know what I mean? Just so that I felt like to do a little something extra, and I shouldn't have had to feel like that, and that still don't even matter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to try to have to, you shouldn't have to feel like that with any situation. If it's your people, it shouldn't constantly be a struggle and a battle to feel like you got to impress another grown man or have to listen to another grown man. That's like the one thing that you got to become used to if you find yourself or put yourself in that situation. But that goes for all organizations sometimes, not just my situation. That's white.
Let me stop you, man. Not sometimes. In all gangs, all organizations, if you ain't at the top of the food chain, guess what? You're going to be listening to another man tell you what to do. You don't like authority, but you got the shot caller, the big homie, telling you what to do. It really is kind of like, hey, stupid, we need you to go stab this dude. You're like, all right, big homie, I'll do it. I've seen people fuck their whole lives off,
Bro, people add, I'm sure like people add time, all type of shit. I was always afraid of that. Like something would get so serious that I would turn my little almost 7 years into 10, 15 or something crazy. But they weren't giving people life, bro, for that. That's the crazy thing. People was dying and they was not giving them, they was still giving them time, but it wasn't like, they might give you like another 7 years and say, I don't know. I know you know a lot about the legal law shit, so I don't know what they call it, but there was something I heard that they were doing around in our state anyway, where the judge would look at it like because of your environment and because of someone else trying to harm you and you harm them, they give you leniency and they'll give you 7 years or something like that. I never heard of nobody getting enough life sentence like in that movie, Shot Caller. I think it was. I seen that.
Let me tell you this, right? Let me just flip it over for like I got a call today from a dude, right? Someone a lawyer, and they call me like, "Hey, man, we really feel like you're kind of like a BOP expert." They got a case that could possibly be a death penalty case where this dude kills a very well-known DC dude, right? But at the end of the day, in the feds, I mean, they're not only giving you life, they're giving people the death penalty over there. So if you kill another prisoner in the feds, there's a good possibility you're getting a death penalty.
Damn.
It's not 7 years like Ohio.
State too, yeah. I mean, feds is the feds though. They're you know that. I think there's some differences between state, from what I hear anyways. Especially with the time. Don't you guys do eight months on a year? Is that how it really is or what?
It's 87%.
87%. Okay, yeah.
Let me ask you this, right? How old are you now?
34. I'll be 35.
How long you been out?
9 months.
So you've been out 9 months, right? You ever going back?
Nah, bro. Hey, I love my freedom. It's to the point where I can't really put it no other way, bro. Like being with my kids and shit, I just love it. And on top of that, I don't know, man. That shit made me take a different look at my life. Like, I'm sure you know that and can understand that. It made me put things in a different perspective. I left when my kids was toddlers, and now they're all like preteens with attitudes and shit. Me and my woman, we've been together for 18 years. So, 7 of that I was not around. She had to come see me. Phone calls, video visits. That shit's rough, bro. Like, it's been rough on our life. It put everything on pause. And no, I don't plan on going back, bro. I just got my I was supposed to do 3 years of parole because I had mandatory time. And the STG shit, all that don't help you. She just asked me about that like 3 days ago. Like, you ain't been around any other STG or nothing, right? I'm like, no. I was like, I don't do nothing but go to work and come home. But it's just the fact that they got to do all that, like being on the government watch list. That shit's, I don't know. Some people think that's cool or like a badge of honor. I don't look at it like that, bro. Like, that changes a lot of things in your life. And with the cops, with the airport, with people can see it when they do a background check. I know that for a fact because my girl paid $5 to do one on me when I first came home just to see what would, if like my misdemeanor shit, or just to see what people see. And it said that I was on the government watch list. So like that shit ain't, it's, you just gotta be prepared and know that that comes with that shit.
It's all part of it. But now, man, I see you got a ring on. You're a husband. You're a father. I mean, the things that are important to you are, the things that should be important to people. Staying free and being all the things you're supposed to be, right?
Right. Yeah, I definitely, me and my woman are about to get married. Yeah, well, we plan to. We're trying to get ahead in life, but we want to. We've been together long enough. It's been, long enough, and we want to make this shit work. So yeah, that's our plan. But yeah, you're right. I'm trying to just be on positivity, bro. I ain't trying to ever go backwards. I ain't got no room for failure and all that. I gotta try to, if you fall, you get back up type deal.
Well, listen, man, I know you put out some videos that went viral and some other stuff, right? So
Yeah.
tell the people where they can find your videos. We'll put the links up, man, and they people go
Cool.
check it out and check out what you're doing.
The name's been changed 3 times. It used to be Finally Free Family Life. Then it was Packy Visions TV. But then we decided to share them again, and it's just that one couple, but it's WON, like one. So, but they're all the same, and it's TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. My YouTube is doing all right. It's growing. I'm grateful for that. So that's cool. I got like almost 4,000 on there, and then me and her got like 11,000 on Facebook. TikTok ain't really there yet, but that's what it is. That one couple, and but yeah, I had a video go viral, got 1.5 million views of me just cooking a meal. Put a Kevin Gates song on there, showed some shebangs, had about $55 worth of stuff that you would get at the commissary. I went to 2 stores and just looked and found as close as I could, even down to shebang. Put it all over the table, videoed it, put the song, didn't really think nothing of it, made some potato cakes with it, just shit like that, and some raps. And yeah, it ended up going viral, and that's when Facebook contacted us and monetized us, which was cool. So I'm like, I'll try the other apps. She kept pushing me to do social media. She's like, people want to see this. They're interested in people's life, whether it's good or bad. I'm like, all right. And she was right.
We'll put your links up, man. Anything you want to say before we get ready to go?
No, not really, but just know what you're getting yourself into when you want to make them choices in your life. It's a lot of dead time. The people that are sitting there with nothing going on just because of one quick thing they might have chose to do. So anybody hearing this that's got these type of situations going on or thinking about being a part of anything in their life that they know could go, I'm telling you right now that there's a lot of things that happen quick. You might find yourself in there with 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years, who knows, whatever, maybe even life. If you ain't just out here, bro, it's crazy out here anymore. And to you, yeah, appreciate you for doing this for me. That was cool because I actually want to do this. I like watching your channel. So, yeah, that was cool, man. It was an honor to be on here.
Listen, man, I definitely appreciate you, man. Check this brother out. His stuff will be in the links. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. With respect, until tomorrow, we're out.